Tonight we are having Alfredo on tortellini because last week we went to dinner and we liked it so much that I'm going to try to replicate it. So the first thing I wanted to show you is I don't want to dirty too many pans. So I've already made my tortellini and I have it in my insulated bowl. I've already made my zucchini and it's about ready, and it's going to also go in the insulated bowl. That allows me to go ahead and start doing the Alfredo. And the Alfredo is really, it looks like it's really pretty easy. So I'm following a recipe. I have a saucepan ready. I'm going to put 4 cloves of garlic in that I've smushed. And you could chop it or you could put it from the garlic press. And I'm going to go ahead and just let it start to get a little toasty right there. I'm going to melt some butter in there. See how much butter it says. It says 3 tablespoons of butter. And I'm going to do a little bit more than, I'm going to do like a 1.5 times. And thank you, my videographer is back. And we're just going to warm that up and, bring it to at medium heat. We want to cook it for about 60 to 90 seconds until it's fragrant, but we don't want it to be brown. You notice that when you have Alfredo, it is not brown. It is a very clear white sauce. So I'm just, keeping this going, whisking it smoothly, and gradually I'm going to start to add some milk into it. And one of the reasons that I have the zucchini ready to go, I'm going to turn it off, put it in there, is just so that I'm not having to worry about more than one thing at a time. So we've got that going, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in the milk, a little bit at a time, and just keep stirring it. All right.
You don't put flour in it?
And I also, don't need to put flour in it, but what I am going to put in it, and my little silicone is moving, so I want to make sure I push that together because I don't want it to scratch my pan. I may end up having to switch from that list. I'm also going to be putting in some cream cheese. Now, I have my family standing around here in the kitchen, but normally they would not be here and I would not be telling them that I'm using 1/3 less cream cheese, because there's going to be plenty of creaminess with this without having the full fat in it and all those extra calories. We're going to have plenty of calories just the way it is. So I'm going to melt this cream cheese for a little bit more before I put in more more milk. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go ahead and take that zucchini out and again put it in my insulated pan, my bowl, and it's going to keep it nice and warm because the Alfredo sauce will be done in about 7 to 8 minutes, but you need to continue to stir it. And so I don't want to be distracted by my zucchini, and I do like to sit down and eat with everybody. And the bowls have made that a real possibility, whether it's for pancakes or for vegetables. So, or bacon. Because you gotta have bacon. So you can see that this is creaming up. I don't even have it on full medium heat. We're gonna go ahead and put in more milk and continue to stir it. And I'm then gonna bring it to
more milk?
Yeah, put in more milk. And I'm gonna bring it to a simmer. And after I bring it to the simmer and it's pretty mixed up, I'm going to put in some Parmesan cheese. So you may be asking, well, do I use Parmesan cheese that comes out of a plastic container? The answer is no. I just freshly grated the Parmesan, and I will show you
Should I
that.
put the rest in?
Go ahead and put the rest of the milk in. So we've got our garlic, and we've got our cream cheese, which is giving it, instead of using heavy cream, that is 1% milk that I've used. And so low-fat milk, and then also the low-fat cream cheese, just to have, okay, it's not going to taste like Maggiano's and probably even Olive Garden, but it's going to taste delicious. I just know it. So this is what I did with the Parmesan cheese. I grated the Parmesan for 15 seconds in my blender. I put the whole block in, I cubed it up, and now I went ahead and I tarred this up. I don't know if this is going to show you, but it's about 2.5 ounces of grated Parmesan cheese, and we're going to put that in there. And as we have this simmering, and I'm not sure that it's simmering yet, when we put the cheese in and some pepper, we're then going to cook the sauce for 5 to 7 minutes until it reaches a little bit more thick, a little thicker. So I'm going to be ready with my pepper. And I'm going to go ahead, for the purposes of this, it looks pretty good, don't you think? And put in my cheese and incorporate that. And then, in addition to the Alfredo with my tortellini, we're going to add peas, and we're going to add pine nuts. The peas will give it just a little green, even though that we're also having the zucchini, and the pine nuts, based on what we had last week, gives it a little bit of crunch. So there's my Parmesan in there, and I'm gonna put in some ground pepper. And it says to measure it, but I don't usually measure it. So when it's all done, I will post a picture, but that is really 5 different ingredients. We have garlic, butter, cream cheese, milk, Parmesan cheese, and pepper, and that's what's going to go on our tortellini. Thanks for joining us in the delicious kitchen. Have a good evening.